I walk down, take a walk down the street to the store. It's one of the highlights of my day. The sunlight on my skin as my body carries me to the market, warming into the day, as it does the blossoming trees, the lightless walk. Perhaps it lifts my spirit out of the flesh with the promise that this flesh will see me nourished by the purchase of a cup of yogurt. But it's not this. It's the walk outside, the open air. What is thankfully a pleasant day. This interstice between two spaces, the great public outdoors that my passes through, that which exists between the home that I call mine and the store that they call theirs, or rather what we consensually agree that something simply not to be shared. The delivery of my body to this beyond, that space which rests, or perhaps rides in ancient tumult as with one has Lovecraftian thought patterns, past the threshold of private ownership, houses the conditions of a joy, or horror again to Lovecraftian basement dwellers, that one cannot find inside, or well the inside whose walls are erected by a piece of paper inscribed with our names. But why am I eating yogurt? Apparently the enzyme is active in yogurt, counterbalances whatever it is that drinking puts into your system. That is an appeal to stomach or liver health. Yogurt is the way to go. But the thing is, I didn't drink last night. Well, in a moment of anxiety, I had a swig of vodka. Instead, the unknown, my organs, my insides, seems to be out of whack, and it's goddamn difficult to get a timely doctor's appointment. Sure, I'd like to talk about this inside, with outside, that I mentioned above, but I sadly don't have the time now, as I don't want to improvise thought to a viewing audience. This will be continued later. Manila Road is a strange and swampy band. They scream heavy metal, but in a way that is more of a glance over spectacles, with a knowing smile whilst gently musing its name rather than stomping around and kicking drinks over. They come across as knowledgeable and astute, I'm never afraid of going for the jugular with the simple earthy ideas, to paraphrase Divine Dictum. They are an enlightened child of tree stone, possessing an awareness of the importance of this whole metal lark, as well as capable of expressing it in terms that is easy to comprehend. Dare I do it? Another Tetracool comparison? Yes, that. Manila Road reminds me of Jethro Tull. They both aren't above using incredibly simple musical ideas, but can pull off more ambitious ones with aplomb. Like Tull, Manila Road seems to pigeonhole too American, maybe a little too rooted in the heavy 70s, to be deemed cutting edge, though I couldn't really see any band putting out material of this type in the 70s. Bearing Sabbath, of course, they are a completely separate entity to anything else. They probably were born, not in Aston, but on the sun. We first entered Necropolis in rousing, curious form, and instantaneously my mind is filled with questions as to whether the river Styx actually had a jungle beside it. Still, it conjures cryptic, fantastical images that the hackneyed cover art can never manage with surprising brevity and anthemic vitality. It's uncharacteristically up-tempo, to contrast the more mid-tempo hammers of Sumerians smashing skulls, pace of the rest of the album. But then again, it's always a no-brainer to start on the fast number, further giving weight to this idea of heavy metal. Conan the Librarian vibe is the fact that Crystal Logic delivers several songs about heavy metal in a completely sincere and earnest, intelligent manner. This isn't your standard heavy metal. Heavy metal is the law of songcraft. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but rather dwelling on the very nature of metal, and for 83, that's very impressive. Although the title track doesn't share the same 70s style grounding as the rest of the album, it's undoubtedly difficult to think differently. Say gloves of metal songs and elk. It's definitely oft ridiculed in the textile. Statements such as heavy metal is life and not eternal metal. It's done with still even today, comes across as heartfelt, and not that we are the children of the night won't come out for tea, stuff that Dio is more capable of churning out. It's something that I think we should all occasionally take a moment to think about. While writing a review for a band doesn't exist on a content-free encyclopedia at present, back in the 80s pointing out that metal has a massively positive impact on people's lives was an incredibly valid point to make. It was very much a whipping boy despite the fact that organized religion was still responsible for millions of people sweating in the dark and wondering how much Mary had giving birth to Cain. Musically, the title track opens with an arcane riff that chips from crushing powers, soaring bent that is given further accentuation through the subtle use of reverb, which is utilized throughout the album to give sonic depth to Shelton's fretboard mysticism. This then gives way to a bustling riff that echoes the vocal medley and us seeing lyrical ideas of the verse with surprising excitement. Crystal Logic then takes a change to the dancing, skillful suit of guitar melodies that come across as slightly medieval. Shelton has clearly stolen the main riff from Angel Witch's Angel of Death, but theft is wholeheartedly condoned by this reviewer if you happen to improve on the original. I've made my views of Angel Witch known. They're good ideas in abundance. It's just they didn't develop them to their full potential. And of course, Shelton's cracked voice conveys far more menace than shrieking Patsy Kevin Hayborn. Notably, the opening folkly minstrel goes back to the 70s bands, and with the theme of nuclear holocaust. And because of this, I forced him into a corner to make a comparison with the groundhogs and thanks Christ for the bomb. And it's probably also worth noting that both Tony McPhee and Mark Shelton sound as if they inhabit overgrown tangled gardens and full of mossy old guitars. But the similarities don't cease. Dreams of Shkaton comes across as a protest song, albeit one with massive riffs and framing guitar wig-outs. It's heavy metal with a hippie aesthetic, not a bad at all. Taking and Dubio and the straightforward rock roll. It's unmistakably awful. Mark Shelton singing Hey Baby. It's a terrible idea. This song doesn't start to sound nearly as many demons as the rest of the album. Ideally, flaming metal systems would be in its place, though that too doesn't fit the band's pacing and mood. I can only bang my head against a desk and wonder why a band, who otherwise displays such compositional maturity and cough, cough, splutter, splutter, crystalline logic, would be stupid enough to place the poorly written, half-baked rocker in an otherwise perfect metal album. I mean, look at them. It's not like they're made out for the top of the pops. Interestingly enough, for this three-piece, he said the rhythm section is surprisingly downplayed and unfussy. They're a power retrieval. But conceivably power comes from the guitars and vocals. Well, I don't know how much. I'd rather listen to another chorus that echoed solo well, and the howl like a rabid badger than a foot on the drum riser bass solo. The fact that only the guitars and vocals are never truly accented gives an uncluttered sound to the album, perhaps a sort of minimalism that most 70s bands weren't capable of for the whole 38 minutes. It's part and parcel of Crystal Logic's accessibility. This is a unique album. I find it fascinating that these songs are demonstrating that despite all our goblins, this is a positive force in the lives of so many. But rather than sounding like a self-help book, like the last sentence did, this does in a way that you perhaps wouldn't notice after all. Didn't you feel better from listening to it? I'm not sure whether this is their finest album, but I'm surely going to have fun finding out. We're on the road of kings. What did you see behind the line? Is it really what you expected to find? Thanks, guys.